everybody, Steve Head here with the Post Movie Podcast and the Diabolique Webcast. Podcast, same thing. I'm making a video. This is me talking to you like I've never done before. And it's like I've been informed by my colleagues that I should do video. And I've been pretty, apprehensive about it. But, having given it a lot of thought, I like the idea that this could, be a better way to communicate with readers, listeners. And I love feedback. I mean, I hate to admit it, but the truth is that I live for it. Sometimes it's important. I put content out there, and I like to know if it's being received, how it's being received, and to get feedback on it. So I think as much as I've been hesitant about doing a video update or a video review, I think on the whole it's a good thing. Just hope I can keep the habit up. If it is a habit, anyway. But I figure that for doing a video review, at least the purpose of this one, anyway, is that as a film critic, as a movie reviewer, one of the fortunate, one of the good things about it is, people send movies, and quite often, they're just atrocious. There's lots of atrociousness out there. But every now and then, something strikes me. Something worth talking about. Something that is good enough to record a video about. So I got this film last week, and it's called Nailbiter. And it's new on video from Lionsgate. And having known nothing about it beforehand, which is a great way to go, no expectations. And admittedly, my expectation for this was it's going to be like, some low-rent horror film, but it's not. Formally, this film has some appreciable. Some qualities to be appreciated. It's well made. It's from a director I've never heard of, Patrick Ray, Kansas filmmaker, and apparently he made this movie entirely in Kansas with crew and talent. And I as you can see, I tend to stammer. But I'm stammering here because I am at a loss for words as to how to convey the fact that he put something together. This movie is well done, stylistically, the performances, the tone of the film. It has this enough. Of a formal base about it. In other words, the quality of film is good to be able to just you can have fun. It's a fun film. There, I'm using the word fun. So this is a I think the title of the film is a misnomer because it really doesn't pertain to anything that's in the film. It's more like this is the kind of movie they wanted to create, and there's some pretty tense moments in it. It, like I said, it impressed me enough to make a video about it. So, so the premise of the film, the summary of it is a woman and her 3 teenage daughters are driving through Kansas she's on the way to go meet her husband, who's in the military, and he's returning from Iraq. And it's a long drive through Kansas. And along the way, the weather, somewhat unexpectedly, becomes inclement. it gets pretty dangerous, and they find themselves on the highway outrunning a tornado. So they immediately pull over. They go to the first house they find. They knock on the door. Nobody's home. But before the severe weather, mows everything down, they're able to break their way in through the storm cellar door, through the door to the basement, and ride the storm out. And once the storm is over and they're collecting their senses and it's time to go, they soon find out that they can't get out of the basement. They soon find out that there is some animal creature thing that's keeping them trapped down there for whatever reason. So they pound on the ceiling of the basement, and they're yelling and screaming. They hear somebody walking upstairs, but for whatever reason, this person won't respond to them. So the creepiness is happening. It's like I think of this movie as like the creepiness has three levels. There's the part where they're trapped in the basement, and whoever or whatever is upstairs doesn't recognize that they're down there. And then when I hate to do this because it's kind of is it a reveal? I don't know. The person that's keeping them in the basement is this, outwardly friendly old woman. But obviously there's some sort of creepiness going on with, the way she's responding to the storm, the fact that she's not, letting these people out of the basement, and the fact that there's a room in her house where she, I think, refers to her husband and how he reacts during the storm, and you get the idea that he's transformed into some sort of beast or something like that. So somehow the storm is affecting these people. And then there's the idea that, like, not only is it just this house that they're trapped in, but the community at large is conspiring to keep whatever secret, they're holding, from, society, knowing about what's going on here. It's creepy. I think I have to say, when a film comes along where you know that a director has done a pretty good job here, I'm sort of inclined to want to find out more about Patrick Ray's work. Apparently he's been doing short films for, the last half dozen years, and he made another feature, but I haven't seen it. But whatever he learned on the short films, he's certainly applied here. And another great quality about this film is the sound mix. I listened to the first half hour of the film after watching it again because I was just really impressed with the balance between the musical score, which isn't heavy-handed. It's actually it's kind of a beautiful score. And I really wish that more horror films or thrillers would go for this kind of beauty in the music. It's almost like some, horror filmmakers, genre filmmakers are less inclined to do that kind of thing. But, great horror with it has some, great thrillers. They also, there's like an invitingness about like a great score. Like I'm thinking about like the terrific score to Lady in White, or even Jaws, which, for what it is, has these wonderful moments of lightness and play, and there's glimpses of there's moments of that in the score to Nailbiter that I found impressive. Also the photography. Now the movie was filmed with a red camera, and I don't think I subscribe to the idea that, like, just because you're making your movie with a red camera, it's going to look great. It's the cinematographer who ultimately makes these, is using this tool, is making the choices here and lighting it. And although the camera quality of this film is terrific, the framing is great. I can't overemphasize the how glad I was to see that the camera was stable, and that the tracking shots and the dolly moves in this film are smooth and sleek and admirable, and that's stylistic stuff. It's not really the story, but I was really impressed with that. Also, the mom and the three girls in the McGuire family, they really work well together. Now, of course, it's the script that ultimately, is convincing here. And I think as horror fans, as genre fans, we're like ultra sensitive to these moments where something might go wrong in the script or whatever mood or tone they're trying to convey. But Nailbiter has a consistency that works. The performances from the girls are believable. They seem, believably apprehensive. When they're sort of forced into this confined space and they have to, work together to get out of it and put their personal stuff aside. That's, it's typical stuff. But the movie is, on the whole, pretty riveting, and it kind of goes, with the whole idea of like, the community being involved in hiding the secret. I'm led to think of movies like, An American Werewolf in London, or The Howling, where there's this next level conspiring that just is kind of freaky. So there's some moments that happen in the last third of the film that actually make it worth the while. It does pay off. The another thing here is that, like, as many films as we see, being horror fans, or or 10 times that as a film critic, I'm in the mode of like watching a horror movie and always thinking about like the final girl theory and how that's permeated slasher films for like, or horror films, or thrillers for like the last 30 years, and how are they going to subvert that? And I thought, for Nailbiter, the people under duress here, the ones who are trying to escape and make it out alive, are all female. So I thought, well, with the final girl theory, maybe it's this balance of like some male characters, some female characters. Does that trope really work if the if the cast here is all female? And in a way it does, because there's elements to it that still are still in this film. That the idea that like there's one character apart from the others that's going to be the one that you identify with. There's one character that maintains some sort of like purity or whatever that you get the feeling is going to make it through this no matter what. And I think there's a little bit of subversion of this theory at the end. I don't want to spoil anything. And then there's a couple of elements in the final girl trope that are like undeniably connected. That even though the cast was all female and there's really no as someone might say, like gender fluidity, like this is a female character, but regardless of whether you're male or female, you're going to identify with her anyway. There's some sort of there is a magnetic identification to one of the characters, and you get the feeling like this person's going to make it. So it succeeds, and in some ways it stays in the whole horror genre, what we like about this kind of stuff. It delivers on that, but it's a curious film. It got me thinking, and I'm also thinking like, oh Jesus, there's going to be like a Nailbiter too, but I do recommend this film. It's if you get the chance to go get it or download it, I think it's worth it. And I'm eager to see more stuff from Patrick Ray and his team of filmmakers. They made a quality film. So let me know what you think of the movie. I'll check back at this wherever this is going to be posted on Post Movie or Diabolique, and I look forward to hearing what you have to say. Until next time.